when you look back, like, let's assume this new chapter never ever happened. When you look back at your career back in those times, what are the standouts? What are the kind of pinch me moments from when you were touring back then?
Oh, there's a few. Obviously, you know, the night we signed our record deal, because we did a lot of showcases in New York for record labels. And back then we were living in our manager's basement, you know, because we ran out of money when we used to live together in an apartment in Toronto. And then I called my manager and we were like, maybe we're going to have to move back to Montreal, but we needed to sign the deal, right? And we were so close and we had a lot of interest from major labels back then. That was really exciting because, you know, that was my dream because I knew and I knew how the industry worked. And I was, you know, it's pretty impressive when you have Epic Records and Atlantic and all those guys, you know, interesting in you and showcasing you and this and that. And when we signed the record deal, we were in Toronto and we had like everybody from the label. We had our lawyer and we had everybody was there and we played that showcase and we were singing in a restaurant. And the guy from Interscope Records walked into the restaurant and my manager said, like, man, that's it. We're signed with Interscope. And the guy said, welcome to Interscope Records. And it was surreal. You know, it was like, oh my God, this is happening. And that was a great moment. But probably my favorite of all is when we toured with Chris Cornell in 2008. You know, we ended up touring with him. And obviously he was one of my musical hero. You know, I always loved Soundgarden. I'm a huge fan. And we ended up touring with him. And I ended up singing with him. That was even better. That was wow. Probably the best time ever, you know, because it's a dream come true. You never know what's going to happen, right? We were touring with him, but he was not around a lot. You know, he was there for the shows, never there for sound checks and stuff like that. And I ended up sound checking with this band. They were kind enough to let me sing a few songs with them. And that was enough for me. But at some point, the drummer, we became really good friends. And he said, listen, I'm going to ask Chris likes your band. And I'm going to ask him if you could come and sing a Hunger Strike with us, that Temple of the Dog track that I love. Yeah. And I ended up singing the song with him. It was still to this day when I watch the video, it's tough to realize that it's me up there doing it, and it was incredible.
So, did you sing Eddie Vedder's part?
No, technically I was supposed to. I was told I did the sound check. I did the Eddie Vedder's part, which are not too hard to sing. And I was like, I knew the song, so I was like, that's good, you know. But I think 15 minutes before we went on, the tour manager said, listen, I got to talk to you. I'm like, oh, he's not going to blow this up. And he said, well, Chris is not feeling too well. He was wondering, can you sing his track, his parts? And I'm like, oh, man, I don't know. This is really high. You know, I know my range, but this was a bit of a challenge. And so I went and tried the song with this band backstage, like 10 minutes before we went on. And it worked, but it was really on top of my range. So I was like, oh, man, I can't screw this up. You know, he's right there, man. That dude, yeah. You know, he's great, and I did it in I think it was Hamilton the first time, and then he told me after we sang the song, he's like, man, it was incredible. We're gonna do this the rest of the tour. So it was just amazing, and night after night, and waiting for my moment. They would call me and be like, Matt's gonna join us on stage. That was incredible. You know, I did it also for my friends, and the time when we grew up together watching SNL or Letterman and saw those bands on TV. And that was me singing with him. And I thought about all my buddies back in the day that, hey, man, I'm doing this for them too. It was not only for me, but also like, man, it's incredible. You know?
Yeah. Well, you're talking to somebody who actually flew to Madison Square Garden to see Temple of the Dog.
Oh, right on. When he came back in 2016?
Yeah, in 2016. I think it was actually like election day. It was like the day that Trump got elected.
Right.
We were in New York. But yeah, I'm so glad that I got to see Temple of the Dog.
They were pretty awesome when they did that comeback thing. And I saw they played a few cool covers. I mean, they were amazing. And that record, it stood the test of time. And that album is solid. And that song, man, it was... Well, man, it's yeah, I'm so proud I had the chance to do it.